We start this hour in the Middle East. Despite limited aid deliveries resuming last week, the UN Humanitarian Chief Tom Fletcher has accused Israel of enforcing forced starvation, a condition he classified as a war crime. This comes as the White House has said Israel has accepted a new US-backed ceasefire proposal for Gaza. The plan was put forward by President Donald Trump and his Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff. According to the White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, Israel signed off on the proposal before it was submitted to Hamas. Let's have a listen.
I can confirm that Special Envoy Witkoff and the President submitted a ceasefire proposal to Hamas that Israel backed and supported. Israel signed off on this proposal before it was sent to Hamas. I can also confirm that those discussions are continuing, and we hope that a ceasefire in Gaza will take place so we can return all of the hostages home, and that's been a priority from this administration from the beginning. I won't comment further as we are in the midst.
However, reportedly, Hamas has said that the group will reject the proposal as the latest terms fall short of its demands, including an end to the war, troop withdrawal and unrestricted aid access. According to the ceasefire plan seen by Reuters, the deal outlines a 60-day ceasefire. The agreement also includes the flow of humanitarian aid into Gaza beginning immediately once Hamas signs the deal, and a halt to Israeli military operations with the start of the ceasefire. In the first week of implementation, Israel would release 125 Palestinian prisoners serving life sentences and 1,111 others detained after October the 7th, 2023. Additionally, 28 Israeli hostages, both alive and deceased, would be released during the initial phase. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron has said that the blockade has created an untenable humanitarian situation and suggested sanctions could be considered if aid access is not granted promptly. Let's listen to what Macron had to say.
Et donc la création d'un État palestinien consécutive à la libération des otages, à la démilitarisation du Hamas, à la non-participation du Hamas dans celui-ci, à la réforme de l'autorité palestinienne, mais d'un État palestinien qui reconnaîtra Israël, son droit à vivre en sécurité, et la création d'une architecture de sécurité dans toute la région sont le seul aboutissement souhaitable pour la sécurité de tous, et le seul qui garantira la paix dans la région. Et donc c'est pas simplement un devoir moral, mais une exigence politique, et je crois aussi un vrai réalisme.
Well, several developments there in the ongoing Israel-Hamas war, and joining us to discuss them is Thomas Porteous, anchor and correspondent with NewsX World, who's joining us from the newsroom. Thomas, what can you tell us about all of these latest developments that we've had in?
Well, Joshua, finally a diplomatic event, some diplomatic developments that seem to be moving towards progress. Our news screens have been filled with things going on the ground in Gaza, obviously very distressing images, but you can now see that the US mediation team is making progress, and they have come through with a plan for this 60-day ceasefire in Gaza. It obviously, as you've mentioned, sees 28 Israeli hostages returned, both dead and alive, for 1,236 Palestinian prisoners and 180 Palestinians. Now, Hamas is currently reviewing this deal. It hasn't officially responded. It's expected to respond either later today or tomorrow. However, it has commented and says that this deal does not meet their demands. Now, Israel's main objective, obviously, is to destroy Hamas, but obviously, when negotiating with the terrorist group, their main priority is to both get back these hostages that was taken on October the 7th and completely disarm the group. Hamas want a complete Israeli withdrawal and a complete ceasefire in return for these hostages. Israel are once again reiterating that that is not going to happen. On the world stage, we have a growing criticism for Israeli action in Gaza. Over the past couple of days, we've seen photos, images, videos of this disastrous, chaotic aid distribution, which is a product of both US and Israeli private humanitarian group, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which the UN has widely discouraged against. We saw chaos. We saw Palestinians frantically going for trucks. We saw warning shots fired by mercenary-style humanitarian workers from this group, and that has led to wide international condemnation. We've once again seen a reiteration of condemnation by the Israeli government from the prominent leader of French President Emmanuel Macron. Now, he has spoken about this ongoing situation before, one of the first prominent world leaders to come out and speak against the Israeli government, and also is a vocal supporter of a two-state solution. Benjamin Netanyahu has spoken about him, along with Prime Minister Keir Starmer of the UK and Prime Minister Mark Carney of Canada, and accused them of siding with Hamas in regards to supporting this two-state deal. We've also had some more developments when it comes to domestic politics. As we know, Benjamin Netanyahu's party has a coalition government with a far-right party, and Israel's National Security Minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir, a staunch right-wing supporter of the war in Gaza, was widely outspoken when the peace deal was announced earlier on this year, just as Donald Trump was becoming into his presidency. And he said it's time that Israel use full force in Gaza as this new US-backed truce comes into play. He does not agree with this truce. Obviously, this comes with Operation Gideon's Chariots, which is occurring as well, which is now where Israel have overtaken the Gaza Strip. The plan of this operation is to completely take over the Gaza Strip by Israel, severely putting pressure on Hamas. So yes, Josh, a lot of developments today, and mainly on the diplomatic end. Strikes will obviously be ongoing. We haven't got the numbers yet in regard to that, but we will bring those to you as soon as we have them.
Thomas Porteous, thank you ever so much for providing that insight. You will be staying